to another episode of the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's get into it. Okay. So, you've heard me talk about how mental health touches everybody, from every occupation to every man, woman, child. Okay. And professional athletes are no different. Dak Prescott dealt with depression. Kevin Love dealt with depression. Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end, dealt with depression, attempted suicide. Okay. So there was a former NBA player, I believe. Yeah, former NBA player named Michael Carter Williams. Okay. He was the 11th overall pick in the 2013 draft by the Philadelphia 76ers. Also played for the Hornets, the Bucks, the Magic, and the Rockets. His first game was against the defending champion Miami Heat. He scored 22 points and had 12 assists. Okay, but his career didn't turn out the way it should have been. As a result, Michael Carter Williams said, "I felt like I had no hope or purpose in life. All the noises that you hear from being an athlete, the comments, they were all in my mind. Most importantly, I wasn't a father to my child. I didn't get to be with my fiance, who I loved and still love. I didn't even know what I wanted. I didn't even know if I wanted to be alive at that time." Okay. So his career not going the way it should have been. Problems with having problems, off the court problems with his fiance, not being able to see his child. Okay. He did miss critical moments with his child, his fiance. He then began to deal with anxiety, depression, became a journeyman around the NBA. Injuries, trades, inconsistent roles. Okay. On top of that, you're dealing with depression and anxiety. So you're having the pressures of being a pro athlete in the NBA. On top of that, you are also dealing with issues with your fiance and missing important moments with your child. And you're dealing with anxiety and depression. That's a lot for anybody to deal with, okay? And it can break it can break you. It can break you. It can break you as a athlete. It can break you mentally. Okay. And he was labeled a bust. He was labeled a bust. His rookie year, he averaged 16.7 points, 6.3 assists, and 6.2 rebounds per game. And even was a 2013-2014 rookie of the year. Right? But inconsistent shooting percentages, the 76ers having the quote process, okay, led to his departure. He played in 70 games his rookie year, but then, like I said, he became a journeyman. Career didn't go the way it should have. He went from he eventually ended up in the G League. He says his confidence wavered. And he said, depression runs in my family. So it's hard. It's a hard thing to deal with. And at that time, it was just the lowest of me. And so I said that Michael Carter Williams didn't even know if he even wanted to be alive. So um, I guess you could say he was thinking about suicide at that time. Okay. He is in a much better place now. He is in a much better place now. I believe he is a broadcaster for the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay. Yeah. So he's in a much better place um, mentally. Okay. And so I'm just happy he's in a better place and doing better. And I'm glad he stayed. I'm glad he stayed because um yeah, yeah, I'm glad that he stayed. I'm glad he stayed. Um let me see. Um Here we go. Cool. Okay. So mental health month is still in effect. It's almost over. Okay. But mental health should be talked about year round, not just in the month of May, right? So warning signs of suicide. Okay. Um Talking about being a burden to others. They talk about ways to die, extreme mood swings, talking hopelessly about the future, extreme isolation and loneliness. They say they don't know how much longer they can go on, struggling to find joy in the things that they used to love, increased use of drugs and alcohol. They appear in survival mode. They practice self harm. Me, yes, yes. They don't see a way out of a difficult situation. Okay. Um, Early detection of signs can lead to professional help and mental health treatment. Knowing these warning signs for suicide can save a life. 5 steps to prevent suicide. Look for signs, empathize and listen, ask directly about suicide, help them connect or get help, check in with them. Okay? And so um I'm at risk for suicide every day. Okay. And you may ask how. Okay. Well, um those who have attempted suicide, those who have self-harmed, okay, um, they're at risk. They're at risk. And I'm at risk. Um, I am in a much different place than I was several years ago. Um, but I believe I talked about this a few videos ago where, oof, man, it makes me cringe just thinking about it. Okay. Um, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. So I had like a bad itch on his side of my shoulder, okay, and I can still see the scars very clearly, okay. And so the itch will not go away. Itch will not go away. And my response to it was scratch harder, scratch harder. and the harder I scratched, it did go away. It did go away. Yeah, it did go away. But while the itch went away, there was there was a burn. There was a painful burn. There was a stinging, painful burn that I felt. Okay, stinging, painful burn that I felt, and I knew I went too far. I knew I had gone way too far. Okay, and I said, I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look at it. I know it's bad. I know. I know it's bad. I'm not gonna look at it. And so, and this happened while I was at work. This happened while I was at work. Okay, I got up to use the bathroom. Okay, I got up to use the bathroom, and I said, I'm not gonna look at it. I'm not gonna look at it. I said, well, look at it. So I pulled up my sleeve. I'm like, whoa, whoa. I was like, wow. And like I said, I knew it was bad when I knew I went too far when I felt that stinging burn. Okay, when I felt that stinging, hurting pain, I knew I went too far. But damn. And so I self-harmed unintentionally. Unintentionally self-harmed. Okay. I unintentionally self-harmed when I just wanted to get rid of that itch. Okay. When I just wanted to get rid of that itch. In the process of getting rid of that itch, I self-harmed unintentionally. And it made me, and it made me, and all of a sudden I had some guilt. I had a little bit of guilt. And then I said, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Did you mean to do it? Did you mean to self-harm? Ask myself a couple of questions. Did you mean to self-harm? No. Then if you didn't mean to self-harm, okay, okay. But yeah, yeah. I self-harm unintentionally. And it was stinging. It was stinging. It was it was it was some it was painful for a few days. I could not touch it because even the smallest touch would set off pain. Okay, even the softest touch would set off pain. So, um, yeah. So, but yeah, completely unintentional. But yeah. Um, and the reason why I felt, and the reason why I began to feel guilt is because I used to self harm when I was younger. Okay, I used to self harm when I was younger, and that was a long time ago. And I can still see these scars from 2012. I got, I can still see these scars from 2012. Okay, I can still see them. Okay, they faded, but I can still see them clearly. But but yeah, but yeah. Let me see. See if I can find that. Okay. okay, since I can't find this other post that I want to talk about, I'm just gonna stop right there. Okay, and let me just end by saying to people who are watching this, who are depressed, have thoughts of suicide, and are anxious, just remember this: you matter. You are not a burden. You are loved. You are more than enough. Okay. The best thing you can do, the bravest thing you can do is continue living when your brain, everything is telling you to shut it down. Okay. Just remember this: you matter. You're loved. You're more than enough. You are not a burden. Okay. And things will get better. Okay. All right. That's it. That's all for the Sean Farrell podcast. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Peace out. God bless. Peace out. God bless.